This is Comet Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
How are you doing, Jason Glick?
I'm doing just fine, John. Yourself?
Oh, not half bad. And what do you have for us tonight?
Well, it's Marvel crossover time, and it's like I got my hands on the nice hardcover edition of their latest big event, Infinity, which is notable for the fact that it's for the most part it's written by just one guy, one of my favorite writers working today, Jonathan Hickman. Now, go back up a bit about Marvel events and just big events in general. You know, there have certainly been some good ones over the years. In recent memory, there's been like Rick Remender's Dark Angel saga in X. It's like an Uncanny X Force. I like Greg Pak's World War Hulk, which had a nice riff on the entire Marvel universe teams up to take down the Hulk, and Bendis's Secret Invasion was a lot more entertaining than I was expecting it to be. But overall, I mean, a lot of the major events from both Marvel and DC do kind of leave a little bit be desired. I mean, I've generally done a good job of avoiding most of most of DC's stuff over the years because you can ignore most of DC's big event stuff simply because there is really not a unified DC narrative like there is with Marvel, and that's how Marvel at least gets me to buy their stuff at some point. I mean, the exception being Age of Ultron because I didn't realize it was actually how significant Age of Ultron was to the overall narrative until a buddy of mine who did spend $75 to get the hardcover explained it to me last week, and after to hear him tell it, waiting for the softcover collection of the miniseries was the right move to make. But anyway, talking about Infinity, and it's overall, it's after reading twice over now, I have to admit this is probably the most satisfying big event series I've read from Marvel or DC in quite some time. It's I think it's definitely benefits from the fact that the majority of this was written by Hickman and so represents just one writer's vision through, for the event, and also the fact that Marvel gave him a huge amount of space to work here, and he uses that up extraordinarily well. I mean, there are some issues with that to the point where if you were just buying the miniseries, then yeah, you only got half the story. But here collected here in the giant hardcover, yeah, it reads it generally reads quite well with only a couple little continuity gaffes as far as how the issues are presented here. But let me back up and talk about the what you're getting in the hardcover itself. You get the 4 issues from Volume 3 of Hickman's Avengers. You get Avengers Volume 4. You get Volume 2 of Hickman's New Avengers and the Infinity miniseries proper. So technically, if you're pricing out the New Avengers, Volume 3 of Avengers, and Infinity, it's you're getting that's excuse me, that's $75 right there if you're buying it in hardcover, which is the cover price for this edition. Plus plus you're also getting those extra 4 issues of build up from Avengers Volume 3 and 2 issues of one of Marvel's Infinite comics, which basically talks about what the Silver Surfer was doing during all this. It's not desperately interesting, but yeah, I can appreciate the extra content and all. Now, thing is though, before, I guess I'm just going through all the build-up stuff before I get to talking about the series itself. The thing is though, this ties in greatly to Hickman's work on Avengers prior to this date. I mean, the characters and concepts he introduces in the first volume, like Ex Nihilo, Abyss, the Aleph, and also when they're talking about the Builders, the first race that was in this galaxy, all that stuff is very pertinent here, and even more. And New Avengers is arguably even more so because of all the because of the role the Illuminati plays. It's like in this crossover as well. So really, if you haven't read um, Avengers, if you haven't read any of Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers work so far, you're gonna be pretty lost here at the beginning. Plus, yeah, if you haven't read New Avengers, um, like there's a very key plot point here that that's going to be that you're going to miss out on. So definitely like pick those up. And yeah, I really enjoyed Hickman's work so far on those two titles. So yeah, I mean like, but if you dislike these kinds of like event series where you have to like, oh, you got to go and like read up all the back stuff in order to enjoy like this theoretically self-contained event, then you're going to be pissed off and you've probably stopped listening by now. Anyway, let's get to the meat of Infinity itself. Okay, Infinity kicks off with I mean the build-up issues in Avengers are just fine. I mean they pick up on it's like on the fact that Earth was seeded with new growth sites from like by Ex Nihilo. Now these sites are trying to communicate with each other and upgrade Earth's consciousness. Problem is, they're also causing chaos as well. So now the Avengers have to go in and try to solve these things while also competing with AIM in order to unlock the mystery of these sites as well. Meanwhile, Night Mask and Starbrand are basically holed up on the Dyson Sphere orbiting the sun, and they're it's like see in the latter is in the former is teaching the latter about how to control his powers. So you got little bit of plot development there, but really it's like these issues are kind of like lots of superheroes fighting each other, like fighting the bad guys, getting beat up, and one of the crew, Manifold, the teleporter, getting taken out into space by Captain Universe to witness the fall of Galador that kicks off the crossover. So like I said, it's build up, and it's not desperately compelling, but it sets the stage well enough. And even though I do wish that Marvel had included the full volume 3 of Avengers, because now I'm left to go out and buy the 2 issues that aren't collected here. God damn it. Anyway, but getting into Infinity proper, now the big deal about this is that it's like Thanos is coming back. It's like Thanos, he's back, fresh from his cameo in the mid credits of Avengers, and now everyone's like wants to know what's his next move going to be. Not really. How did he escape the dying universe that he was stranded in at the end of the Thanos Imperative? But just what's Thanos going to do next? Anyway, well, thing is, if you haven't read Jason Aaron's Thanos Rising miniseries, then you're going to be at a little bit of a loss here and I honestly can't blame you if you didn't, because I said that I was not that impressed by it, just because it was like it. I can understand like the need to give Thanos like a revised origin in order to bring all of his new fans from the Avengers up to speed and all, or just have Marvel say, hey, you want to know about Thanos? Here, have this miniseries right here. So you've got that, but at the same time, I still think that Aaron spent too much time just grafting conventional serial killer cliches onto Thanos. However, there is one bit of information there that is key to Thanos' aims here, and that's how Thanos is constantly in death's thrall, and how he wants to get it on with her, but he can't because she's constantly teasing him. And one of the things that she asked him to do is kill all of his offspring. And so that was a key plot point from Thanos Rising, and here it continues, and it continues here as well, because Thanos is still crossing the galaxy, looking to murder all of his kids, and here he finds out that the last one is on Earth, amongst a hidden tribe of Inhumans. That, however, is the B plot. The A plot, however, basically picks up on the fact that the Builders this mysterious race that created life in the universe has suddenly gone on the warpath. There's no there's no explanation given. They are just out to destroy everything in their path. And where does this path lead to? Well, as the Avengers find out after extrapolating all the destruction the builders have caused, that path is Earth. They're meant to wipe out Earth and erase it from the galaxy. And and so Captain America, Thor, and a big selection of the main Avengers team, figure it's their duty to go out into the galaxy and join the coalition fight against the builders. So that's the main plot, and really, it's like this is easily the more successful of the two competing stories here, in the sense that it's like Hickman really does give the this galaxy spanning war a real sense of scale and heft to it, and that's because even though this is essentially contained in the main Infinity series, Hickman basically said, fuck that, I'm not going to confine my story to this just what's being told here. I'm actually going to just also tell the story in the in the issues of Avengers itself. So really, you're getting lots of stuff from the battle, the key moments from the battle in Avengers, and that's collected here in the hardcover. So really, it's like if you don't if you don't get the hardcover, you decide to just buy the Infinity Media series proper, you're only getting half the story, and it's just going to come off as just kind of like this Cliff Notes version of this giant conflict. With New Avengers, on the other hand, it contains the basically the Illuminati side of the story. They're Iron Man and everyone else's struggle on Earth to deal with Thanos's efforts, as well as another incursion from a parallel world as well. Oh, and also Black Panther and Namor are at each other's fucking throats over the fact that Namor tore Wakanda to pieces in Avengers versus X-Men, and Black Panther pays Namor back in kind here, and it's just, and then Namor further puts screws to him later on. It's a really interesting diabolical relationship these two have between each other, and I'm looking forward to seeing who manages to kill who by the end of Hickman's run. It's good stuff, but really the big epic storytelling here comes from the Avengers issues tied in with Infinity, in the sense that we get this giant story. It's like this giant space conflict, and it holds up pretty well. I mean, it's I was completely engrossed the first time through, trying to keep me going what's going to happen next, and let's see. It's and second time through, it's I realized that there weren't really that many issues with little plot holes here and there. But I will say that Hickman's strength has never been with characterization. I mean, he's really very well served by working in the Marvel Universe, in the sense that he's dealing with characters who have years of characterization history already done for him, so he's able to just plug whatever character he wants into the particular role that he needs. I mean, having Captain America be the clever guy with the right plan at the right time, that works. Seeing Thor act, act as the peace messenger for the to meet the builders on Hala, only to unleash his own Viking brand of appeasal. That works. It's a really cool scene too, particularly when he disarms himself and then subsequently rearms himself as well. It's really fantastic, compelling stuff. And the thing is, though, the stuff on Earth with Thanos and his personal guard, the Cull Obsidian, they're an interesting bunch too. But the thing is, though, if you're it's like the more you know about Thanos, the more you're going to have an issue with Hickman's portrayal of him here. Now, if you're only familiar with him as that creepy guy from the Avengers credit sequence, then you're not going to have an issue with how he's portrayed here. I mean, well, because really, what do you have to base your characterization of him on, after all? But for someone like me, who actually has not really like a deep knowledge of the character, but enough to know that Thanos is a schemer and someone who likes to cover all the angles, as opposed to just relying simply on brute force. His portrayal here, I can appreciate the fact that he's portrayed as someone as a character of immense power and brutality, and that kind of works for the story. But still, I miss the like I said, the scheming parts of him. The fact that this is a guy who normally has all the angles covered, but this time he's just he's just here to kill his son, and he's just gonna beat up everyone in his way and all. Yeah. Oh, and also there's the Inhumans as well, which there's an event here that sets the stage for Inhumanity, Marvel's next major initiative, which I'm not desperately interested in because it's basically X-Men with the Inhumans. But I already read X-Men, so I don't really have much of a reason to get excited about this right here. So, but even so, I mean, like I said, it still works as long as like I said, if you're willing to just just accept Thanos' characterization at face value, you're not gonna have much of a problem. But like I said, the more invested you are in this, in the character, I've got my friend who did read Age of Ultron. It's he's a huge Thanos fan, and he was just not impressed by what Hickman did here at all. Like I said, I think I'm willing to look past that for the sake of the story, but just long-time Thanos fans, consider yourself warned here. But and also in the end, Infinity is basically Hickman's next stage of his Avengers story, writ large. And ultimately, if you've enjoyed if you're like me and you've enjoyed Hickman's work on the title so far, then yeah, you're gonna have a great time. Otherwise, if you're more of like I said, if you hated Bendis's run, you're probably not going to like Hickman's simply because he's not dealing with a traditional Avengers superhero stuff. He's telling a great big epic science fiction story. And yeah, it's got its issues, his attempt to force a romance between Cannonball and Izzy, also known as Smasher. Doesn't comes off as more just tokenism than anything else. But overall, I was thoroughly entertained, and even though this is a big $75 hardcover, I honestly I felt like I got my money's worth even before factoring the discounts I get from buying through Amazon and picking up all and what it would cost to buy all the different volumes collected here individually. One other thing I'd like to mention, though, is that this is several different artists contributed to this. Stefano Caselli illustrates the opening Avengers issues, and he does some typically solid, clean, fleshy superhero work. I generally enjoyed it. Mike Diodato Jr. does the new Avengers issues here, and his work here wasn't as annoyingly computer generated as I felt it was in most recent volume of Hickman's Avengers. So that was refreshing. Then you've got the main Infinity series proper, which is handled by three artists. Jim Chung does the first and last issues, and the four in between are split by Jerome Pena, who does the outer space scenes, and Dustin Weaver, who does the scenes on Earth. All three of them do fantastic work. Chung's work is more conventional. Is more conventional superhero work in style, but it's still fantastically detailed and and full of action. Really feel the impact from the fight scenes. See with Weaver and Opeña's work, it's not quite their best work because I mean they've both worked with Hickman before in Avengers, and they both and you get to see some of Opeña's just fantastic design sense in these. It's like in the issues, like 'cause having him draw the outer space scenes was great because it gives him like the opportunity to draw all these bizarre alien life forms and spacecraft designs, and that works really well. But doesn't have quite the same insane detail that came with his first Avengers arc. Same with Dustin Weaver. It's like it's not like the whole monthly delivering all these pages monthly doesn't quite allow him to cut loose as much as he did in his Avengers issues. But still, it's good solid work. And then you've also got Leinil Yu, who does the Avengers tie-in issues, and he starts off really good in the sense that he's a guy who thrives on drawing big crazy stuff, but then as things go on, well, let's just say that I assume drawing six issues over 4 months really got to him, and his work just gets progressively rougher as it goes on. I mean, those first couple issues are fantastic, but he's a capable enough artist that he's still able to tell the story well in the last couple issues, but still, it's like you can just tell that he was just pushed right up against the deadline for these final issues. So, but yeah, overall, it's like Infinity is a series of that sets out to tell a giant epic space battle story, real clash of empires and forces, and overall, I think it succeeds. It's certainly not without its issues, and there's a high barrier to entry for anyone who hasn't read Hickman's work. But if you're like me, and you'll buy just about anything that Hickman does, then yeah, it's like you're going to have a great time here. John, so any thoughts or ramblings or whatnot about this?
Oh, there are no ramblings this time, sir.
What, none at all?
Not even a few. I think
okay.
Yes, indeed. No, not this time, sir. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well. Okay. In that case, that's all I had for you tonight. So I mean, I'd like to think that Marvel is gonna deliver something even better whenever they get around to their next project. But I don't know. I'm not too optimistic about considering the bar that Hickman sets with this series. So we'll see. Anyway, though, we're dialing things way back for next time, which unless something happens, I will be talking about time traveling Romans and Japanese baths.
That sounds really interesting. And a little bit. Yeah. What's the thread that connects these two? That's what we're gonna have to find out next week.
Oh, there is no thread because this is just I'll just show him talking more about how the Japanese can make comics about anything.
Yes, this is true. Yes, they
anything.
Can. Absolutely. All right. Until next time, we'll catch you on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Laters.